Okay, so you might want to have a rolled up towel for this practice today, or two of those balls, whichever your choice of balls are there. So they could be soft, and two folded socks together might work. Your strap, and then a couple different options for block sizes. So just taking a couple minutes to get whatever you want, and we'll get started in your healthy aging class. So we'll start in constructive rest. That's feet and knees, same distance apart, hip width distance, allowing yourself to come onto your back. You might have some support behind the head, giving yourself a little pickup of the head so that the chin can be drawn into the chest. Hands might rest on the body or maybe extend out with palms face up, a little gather of the shoulder blades together. And then allow your body to just be here in this space on your mat. And take a moment to sense the space that is around you. So keeping those eyes closed, the gaze soft, just notice and sense what is around your space, where your body is located in the room that you're in, where your body is on your mat. Notice the temperature on your skin, the clothing on your skin, where the body is pressing into the mat, maybe the bottoms of the feet, the hips, the shoulders, the back of the head. Feel into the body without judgment. Notice sensations, maybe areas of the body that might like movement, might like some softening. Just notice what's there. Bring the awareness to the forehead and the jaws. Let them both soften. Let the eyes be heavy in the sockets. And notice any colors or light behind your closed eyelids. Feel into the mouth, soft inside of the cheeks. You might let the tongue wash over the top and the bottom teeth, relaxing the jaws. And then feel the texture of the breath as it moves in and out the nose. How deep is the breath? What's the rhythm of your breathing? And how does each breath feel coming in the body and releasing out the body? Attune yourself to all these fine qualities of awareness. Shift the awareness of your breath so that as you inhale, the breath expands out to each cell of the body, through the limbs, to the ends of the fingers and the ends of the toes. And as you exhale, let the breath come back to a place of center in your body. It might be the belly and it might be the heart. So that each inhale is expansive, spreading the breath out, even past the physical part of your body. And as you exhale, it's energizing back to a concentrated center. And let your awareness settle in your place of center, maybe at the belly and maybe at the heart. And notice if an intention for your practice might arise. It could have something to do with offering your practice to a person you know, to a family member, to a community, to a friend. Or it might be offering this practice to yourself. What has brought you to yoga today? See if you can form that in the present. I am here, I am stable, I am strong, I am healthy, I am balanced. Whatever it is for you. We'll take 3 shared breaths to send this intention out to the world, taking a deep inhale through the nose, opening the mouth big, exhale to release. 2 more. Let the breath return to its natural rhythm. And then slow rocks of the head from side to side. Warm that cervical spine. Massage the back of the head. Allow the head to come through center. Draw the right knee into your chest and lace the hands around that shin, squeezing it in. Extend the left leg out long, but don't let it touch the ground. Let it hover. Notice how the belly starts to work and fire up here. Draw that left leg in, hands change to that side as you extend the right leg, hovering. So there's a squeezing in sensation and a reach and lengthening. Draw that right leg in again, this time left one as it extends. Anchor it fully down onto the ground. Pushing the thigh down as you exhale and squeeze that right knee a little closer towards you. And then let it move away from the torso. 2 more times. Squeeze in and then move away. Last time, squeeze in and hold. And notice how that left front of the hip, the psoas, gets a bit of a stretch. And then open that right knee out to the side. Inside thigh doing opening as the hips stay level. Draw the right knee back to the chest. Left knee comes in. Hands lace around that shin. Right leg extends and anchors firm down onto the ground. 3 times. Squeeze tighter on that left leg. Move away as you inhale. Exhale, squeeze in. Holding that left leg in, feel the stretch in the right part of the thigh, and then open the knee out to the side. Pause and hold, hips stay level. Draw the knee back in, right knee comes back into your chest, one hand on either knee, separating knees apart, rotate around, back together and in, so that the femur bones are rotating in the hip sockets, hydrating into the ball and socket joint. Change direction the other way. Next time the knees come into the chest, take a pause, and as you exhale, squeeze the belly Lift the nose towards the knees if that feels okay for you. And then soften the head and shoulders down. Float hands and feet up to the sky. And then come back to that little seed ball. A few times like this, just warming all the joints. Next time the hands and feet are up, pause and start circling out the hands, circle out the feet, warming into wrists and ankles. Change the direction. Keep the hands up, but bend the knees and let the knees be right over top the hips and the shins parallel to the ground. Let the spine be in a neutral position. So you might have the lower back slightly off the ground, or it might be touching, but don't push it firmly onto the ground. Just keep the hips and the low back in that neutral position. Hold them there and activate the core so that the core is going to be your safety for the lower back. As you extend the right leg, only go so far as you can keep the hips and the low back stable. Opposite arm reaches over the head. Exhale to draw the knee and the hand back in. Opposite side. So you're keeping the pelvis from moving, and you're ensuring that the lower back is safe, and you only lower the leg close to the ground in a way that is not going to affect the lower back in any way. So at any point, you can draw your knees into your chest and you can take a pause. Otherwise, let's see about one more each side. Come back to that starting position when you're ready and connect the toes and allow the knees and the arms to open and then squeeze back in. So think about inhale, open, exhale, squeeze into center, firm the belly. And again, you can do as many of these as you like. Good, let's do one more. Nice, let's place the feet on the floor. And we're gonna find the balls if you want, or those rolled up socks. And to get the right spot, I like to just kind of lift up one shoulder, place the ball just at that spot where if I had my hand on the shoulder, it would just be where the fingers land. But I notice right away that I'm going to need some support under the head. So some support to lift up so I don't have strain in the neck. And then take the other ball, lifting the shoulder up and place that there. If this doesn't feel good at all for your body right away, then you're going to use the towel instead, that rolled up towel. So you'll roll over to one side and place that rolled up towel along the spine and then head back onto the back. And you can just kind of shift around to get it so it's on that length of the spine. So whichever one is best for you. I'm going to see, I'm going to try both this time. From here, we reach the arms up in front of the chest, and you'll know that the balls are in the right spot because it should feel kind of like a massage. And then give yourself these sort of owl eyes. The circles of the fingers are going to come together, and then slide the arms so that they're above your head. So the arms are straight above your head. Create a circle shape, and then bring the pinky fingers together closer towards the height over the navel, and then come back. This is the movement. So it's this circle shape. If whatever prop you have behind you doesn't feel good, then remove it. These arm movements are great for the shoulders and mobility regardless of any props that you have. Just make sure the back is comfortable. Shouldn't feel painful. It should feel like a massage. Okay, then we're going to take the hands, this time right in front of the chest, and rotate the arms so that the backs of the wrists are together. And it's like we're swimming. We're going to swim open, scoop the palms towards each other to bring them back to center, rotate around. And so if you've got anything happening in the rotator cuff, then you'll certainly feel this rotation. At any point, take a pause. At any point, just don't do it anymore if you've decided that this isn't working for you. Next time the hands come together, we'll do Hakini Mudra, which is all the fingertips together and sort of domed in between the hands. You'll allow the hands with these straight arms again to come close to the thighs, and then reach and lift the arms over top the head towards the wall behind you. So it could be a full opening for the armpits, or it might be a little bit smaller based on where the props are or how this is feeling in your body. You might like to exhale as the hands come close to the thighs. Inhale as you reach the arms up. Just make sure that that chin stays slightly into the chest and that you have enough height that this doesn't come into the neck at all. Let's do about 3 more. When that feels like it's enough, you might like to goddess the arms for a moment. And with the head up on the height, with height, it might feel like the wrists have a hard time getting to the ground, and that's okay. Just take a pause here. Roll slightly to one side to remove your balls and then to the other. Adjust the prop so that you have a height for your head that works for you. I'm going to remove my height totally, and you might want to remove your height totally as well for the back of the head, and take your block or your pillow and bring it close to you because we're going to use that for our hips. So draw the heels a little bit closer. Let the hands be alongside the body, palms face down. Tuck the chin in, push into the feet. I'm going to do a pelvic tilt here and squeeze the bum really tight. So it's a bit different than we normally do for our bridge pose. And then think about articulating the spine, unwinding each vertebra down until we can bring the pelvis back down and shift to its neutral position. So we're tucking under, scoop the belly in, squeeze the bottom, lift up, keep the knees parallel to each other and engaged in the inside line. And then like you're unwinding each vertebra, come all the way back down. This time, as you lift the hips up, pushing into the feet, slide your prop underneath your sacrum. So the diamond shape at the bottom of the pelvis, not on the low back at all. From here, reach that right leg out long and anchor the heel down onto the ground. And right away, take a pause to notice the stretch in the front of the thigh and what's happening in the lower back. So if it feels like there's any tension in the lower back, then this prop might be too tall and you want to come to something that's a little bit more flat. So you can adjust to that. Otherwise, anchor the heel down and then rotate the leg bone out at the hip socket and then in. And rotate out and rotate in. Let's do one more. Right at the hip socket, right at that femur bone, rotate out and rotate in. And as it's rotated in this time, slide the heel across and over to that left side. Take the right arm, either goddess arm or a little bit straighter. Keep the shoulders on the ground and slide the shoulders over to the left. So hips are on the block and even, shoulders are on the ground and even. You haven't rolled over to one side at all. You're just allowing that whole right side of the body to get a bit of a banana shape. Breathe here. Slide the arm back to center, the shoulders back to center. Slide that foot back to center, and then bend the knee and anchor the right foot down. Extend the left leg out long. Heel is on the ground. Keeping the heel on the ground, you'll rotate the leg bone out and then rotate in. Rotate out and rotate in. One more out and in. And as it rotates in, slide the heel over to the right side. Keep the hips level on the block. Left arm extends. Slide the shoulders, shimmy them over to the right side so that whole left side of the body is long. Side of the waist, side of the hip, getting that nice stretch and lengthen, breathing into it. And then shimmy the shoulders back to center, arms come back to center. Extend that left leg long. Two options. Bend both knees and take a pause here, or extend both legs long. See how that feels, a supported back bend. And then stretch and reach the toes away, and maybe you want to reach the arms away. So here, stretching the front line of the body. Those psoas muscles even into the core. Another big breath. And then bend one knee and the other. Press the feet onto the ground, but lift the hips up to remove that prop. Set the hips back down and take a little pause. Notice, feel the body. Widen out the feet as wide as the mat. Reach the arms in front of your chest. Bend the elbows, hold onto opposite elbows, and then windshield wiper elbows opposite knees. You might inhale to come through center, exhale over to the other side. Next time you come through center, release the hands and then roll over to one side. Use that top arm to press yourself up. So find your strap close by. We'll come into a comfortable seated position. You might like to have a bit of support for underneath the pelvis. So we want to have the sits bones, those pointy bits at the back rotating backward so that the pubic bone underneath can sort of be facing down. You might like to spread the knees apart to be in easy pose, or let the bottoms of the feet be together, whatever is going to be most comfortable for your body. Sit bones are down, spine is nice and tall and long, chin parallel to the ground. We'll roll the shoulders forward, up, back and down. Forward, up, back and down. Okay. We'll do one more. Nice. Place the hands on the shoulders, and then the elbows will rotate around. So this could be small to start, or it could be big based on what's happening for you. So the space between the shoulder blades, that thoracic spine, we want to create a bit more mobility there, because if it's really frozen in that area, that is going to affect health and mobility in the shoulders. Next time the elbows are out to the side, just pause and notice how when your arms are in this shape, lifting the elbows anymore isn't really doable because we have those clavicle bones that are there. So let's know where that height is. We don't want to force past that, and then lower down and lift up to just before that. Good. Nice. Strong shoulders. Once the elbows come back up, elbows come together in the front, squeeze the front chest together, and then squeeze shoulder blades as the elbows go back. So use your muscles. This can be really nice for the neck as well, because once that thoracic spine is a bit more mobile, it can take some tension off the neck. Let's do one more. Good. Release the hands. Change the cross of the feet the other way if you have them crossed. And then take a look over the right shoulder, back to center, left shoulder. Head back to center. Find your strap and widen out the length of the strap and the arms. The elbows are going to stay straight. So if you need more space, just lengthen the strap instead of bending the elbows. Shoulders stay down. So we don't want to have the shoulders sort of climbing up towards the ears. We want to keep them depressed downward. So you're going to lift the arms up, open the chest, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and bring the strap back behind you only where it feels okay to do. Good. So at any point, you can widen out the amount of strap that you have here. You can also take a pause. If you feel like there's a spot that you want to spend some time in to breathe into, you can do that too. I like to have my gaze just slightly down because I find if I start sneaking my gaze upward, that can put some more tension into the neck. So as I do this, I just do a slight little look down. Good, let's do one more. Nice. Let's take the strap off to the side. Once again, rolling the shoulders forward, up, back, release, forward, up, back, release, and one more. Good. Remove your prop. We're coming to tabletop posture. So wrist under shoulders, knees and hips in line. Instead of using this as part of a back bend, we'll do stronger back bends later. Let's think about neutral spine. So sending the top of the head and the tailbone away from each other. And then scooping the belly, firmly rounding chin to chest. Big scoop. And then come back to that neutral spine. Let's do one more like that. Good. From here, keep the hips just over top the knees and then walk the hands forward and press the chest and the armpits down towards the earth. The chin, the nose, the forehead might be pressing down as well. And feel into this big opener for the armpits, the front of the chest, the upper back. Keep the elbows down, but lift the torso and slide yourself forward. Coming into plank pose, you might leave the knees on the ground or lift the knees off. Shoulders over top those elbows in this low plank, and know that we're going to go down onto our belly right after this. You can stay in this pose as long as you like. Taking a rest on your belly when you're ready for that. When you lower down, widen the thigh bones a little bit so that the lower back and that sacrum has ability to move as it needs. Hands under the shoulders, elbows drawn in. Cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Inhale, lift the chest, back of the neck is long. You're just looking ahead of the mat. And then exhale the lower down. Two more like that. Inhale to lift and look up. Exhale. Press into the hands, come back to the tabletop for just a short pause. Walk the hands towards your thighs, step that right foot forward. As the right foot comes forward, let yourself be in 90-degree angles with the legs. So you have the front knee over the ankle and the back knee under the hip. Hands to the front and back of the pelvis. We'll do a tuck under of the tailbone. Notice how you feel that in the psoas on the left hip, and then release. Tuck under and release. Tuck under and release. One more like that. Tucking under. Feel that stretch in the psoas on the left front of the hip. Last breath. Release that. Slide the front foot forward a bit more so that now the hips can come forward, but without dumping into them. Allow the arms to reach and lift up. If it feels okay for you, you might make this into a little bit of a back bend. Sometimes lacing the hands behind the back of the head can feel supportive, firm and strong in the belly. When you're ready, inhale to come back up. Exhale to place the hands down and then slide that front foot back. Walk the hands back towards the thighs and then see about stepping that left foot forward. So knee and ankle are in line, back hip and knee in line. Hands come front and back of the pelvis if you like that. And then it's a tuck under. Right side getting a stretch and release. Tuck under, release. Tuck under, release. One more. This one, let's hold. Feel that stretch. Good, and then let it go. So now neutral pelvis. Slide that front foot forward. Let the hips come forward again. So different kind of stretch for that psoas. Arms lift and reach up. Maybe hands interlace that opposite way. And if it feels okay, you might bring this into a bit of a back bend. Another breath. Inhale to come up. Exhale if it feels good for you. Hands come down to support as you slide that front foot back. Either going to child's pose or planting the hands, tucking the toes, shifting the hips up and back. You might pedal out the feet a little bit here. You might take a few breaths in stillness. Wherever you are, think about that breath we did at the beginning. That was expansive. So that full body breath, breathing into all the cells, out to the ends of the fingers and toes. And then as you exhale, let the breath exhale back to the concentrated place at your center. On an exhale, we'll come to a forward fold. So however that works for your body, walking feet to hands or hands to feet. Hands come up to the shins or higher to lift and elevate the spine flat. And then exhale to fold. Halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. And one more, come to that full length of the spine. So it's like the body is in a full number 7 shape. It's giving us those sit bones pushing back so that we can hinge from the hip. Hands are going to come to the hips, elbows up. Knees can be soft a little bit, but you're going to push firmly down with the feet, peel the heels apart, lift with a straight spine. So we're using that hinging in the legs to get us up. Bend back into the knees, the hips back, let the arms come forward. So Utkatasana, chair pose, firm into the belly. Breathe here. And we're going to widen the arms apart and then take that right arm underneath the left. Give yourself a little hug or let the backs of the arms come together. Maybe the front palms wrap around. Scoop the belly in, round the spine. Bring the arms towards the knees and breathe into that upper back. Push into the feet, unwind the arms, reach, stretch all the way up. Hold on to that right wrist. Exhale over to the left side. Nice. Inhale to come back up. Release the hands to the heart. And step that right foot back, parallel to the back of the mat. Bend into the left knee. Let the knee open towards the pinky toes and then open the arms front and back. Gaze over the left side. Virabhadrasana 2. So hold, pause, breathe here. Let the right hand come down. Left arm lifts, reaches up. So we get that nice sideways stretch again. Chin turns towards the bicep if it feels okay, but the chin stays in, so we're not popping the chin up. Straighten that front leg. Take the whole left side of the body and reach long. And then allow that hand to come anywhere where it feels okay on the leg. Opposite arm might reach up or go behind you for your triangle pose. This doesn't have to be super low to the ground. It can be wherever it feels comfortable for you. Breathe here. Push into the feet to come all the way up, and then turn the feet parallel to each other. Bend into that right knee. Send the bum back, so hands to the thigh. So the whole inside of that left leg is getting a nice stretch. Push into the right leg until you're into center and bend both knees. Let the toes face a little bit outward. And then I'm going to turn my hands around so that the thumbs are facing in. And it's like I'm going to dip my left shoulder down and come up through center, and right shoulder down, come up through center. You might do this just a tiny little bit, doesn't have to be big. Keep the belly drawn in. One more each side. Come up through center, push into the feet, straighten the legs, turn both of the feet forward, and then step that back foot so that the feet are now hip width distance apart and you're bending into that left knee. Roll the shoulders forward, up and back, and interlace the fingers together. Let the heart reach. The arms might be reaching out behind you. Good. Stretch again into the front of that right hip, front of the chest. Release the hands. Let that left hand come to the thigh. Right one reaches up. And then exhale over to the left side. Good. Come back to center. Both hands coming to the heart. And then we're going to turn to the left side only 3 times. So turning towards that front leg, reach the arms out. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, active twist. And back to center. One more squeeze, belly turn. And back to center. Nice. From here, you're going to have that left hand down. Right arm reaches across. Bend the back knee or let it be really agile. And then lift, reach that right arm. Open out to the side, sweeping along, reach across. Allow the hip to go and move where it needs. Sweeping across. Last one. Great for the shoulder. Beautiful. Release the hands. Lift the back leg off the ground. So you're going to put weight into that front foot. The back leg is going to lift by any amount. You can put it down and then lift up. Put it down and lift up. Or draw the knee into the chest and then reach the leg back. So up to you. Find a point to fix your gaze for this balance. And then wherever you are, draw the knee up to the chest. The toe can be on the ground. And then open the knee and the hands. Let the foot come to a little kickstand and slowly reach those arms up for your tree pose. The sense of gathering, squeezing to the midline, like you've got a zipper zipping all the way up the midline. Breathe here. Nice. Allow the knee and the hands to come back to center and give yourself a shake. Beautiful. Nice. Come to the top of the mat. Let's inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale to fold forward. Hands to the shins, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold. Plant the hands, step the feet back. Come to a version of plank pose that works for you. So the knees might be down, the toes might be untucked. You might be on your forearms. Stay in plank for as long as it is helpful. When you're ready, we'll go down to our belly. Heading there whenever you're ready. This time, widen the legs out and extend the arms out as well. Multifidus work here, opposite arm and leg, right arm, left leg lifts, chest lifts, and lower. Hitting opposite side, lift, and lower. So moving side to side, engage the muscles on the back line of the body. Rest when you need, or one more each side. Hands shift under shoulders, press up and back. Could be your child's pose, or maybe it's downward dog. That full body breath again. If you're in downward dog, you might give yourself that sense of gathering the hands towards each other. Preparing for a forward fold. Move on your exhale to draw hands to feet or feet to hands. Feet that hip width distance to lift and rise halfway. There's no rush to get there. We'll do a couple of these. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift and lengthen when you're ready. Exhale to fold. Come back to that firm, strong lengthening. Use your belly to support yourself there. Hands to the hips, elbows up. Hinging at the hips, push the feet down and the heels apart. Engage the legs to rise up. Release the hands, send the bum back. Arms reach forward. Connect to the core again. Breathing here, strong. Let the arms open. And then take that left arm under the right. It might be a hug, or it might be back to the arms, or maybe the palms wrap around. And then scoop the belly around the spine, deep, letting the arms come towards the knees. Breathe into the upper back. Push the feet into the ground, straighten legs, straighten arms, reach all the way up. Right hand holds on to left wrist. Lengthen. Exhale over to the right. Inhale to come back up. Release the hands through the center. Step that left foot back. Bend into the right knee opening towards the pinky side of the bend, and then allow the arms to go forward and back. Gaze over that right middle finger. Firm and strong in the legs. Soft in the shoulders. Release left arm down. Right palm reaches up, but the chin stays parallel to the ground. We don't want to pop the chin up, and you're looking towards the bicep. The eyes might reach up to the hand, but that doesn't mean popping the chin. Whole right side of the body is getting that nice stretch. Straighten that right leg, reach the whole right side of the body long, and then let the hand come to wherever you need. Other arm might go to the lower back or reach up, and you can be up higher using the hand to support, or lower and not using the arms and firing up the belly a little more. Push the feet into the ground. Come on up. Release the hands. Turn the feet so that they are parallel to each other. And then bend into that left knee, send the bum back. Hold inside of that right thigh, getting a nice stretch and lengthen. Breathe and hold here. Push into that left thigh. Lift the torso, send the toes out to the sides a little bit. You might walk yourself in and then sit yourself down. Arms come to goddess. Push into the feet, straighten the arms and legs, and then exhale back to goddess. And straighten arms and legs. Exhale to goddess. Hold here. Release the hands and bend the elbows and place the hands behind you, like you're doing a little elbow basket behind the back. Let the front of the chest open, the shoulders press back. Then change the lace of the hands. Push into the feet, straighten the legs, release the arms, turn back towards the right. This time that right foot points to that side of the mat and the other foot is being picked up and coming forward. So we're back into a more Virabhadrasana 1 stance. Good. Reach that left arm up and then exhale over to the right. Whole left side getting a nice stretch. Lift back up, let the hands come to the heart. And then this time we're turning to that right side only. So that you are going towards that front leg. Firm the belly, turn towards the right, reach. Come back to center. Coming back to center, release the hands, roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Interlace the fingers that opposite way. Push the hands back, shift the hips forward, and open the front of the chest. Release the hands. Right hand stays on the thigh. The back knee can bend. You can let that back leg move and the hip move as it needs. Reach the left arm across. So we're opening up the back of the body, that thoracic spine. Lift the arm, kind of look under the shoulder, sweep it out to that left side and across. Belly stays engaged. Sweeping. Good. Nice, let that go. Come into the weight of the front foot. Find a point to fix your gaze. Lift off the back foot, hover the foot off the ground. Put it down and back up. Engage the bum cheek or draw the knee into the chest and then shift the leg straight back. And into the chest and straight back. Good. Yes, there's going to be wobbling. Yes, you might need to put the foot down a bunch of times. That's okay. Nice. Next time you are ready to bring the knee into the chest, do that. The toe might be on the ground and that's okay. And then widen out the arms, widen out the leg. Place the foot wherever it works for you. Squeeze up on both sides. I'm going to lift and then allow the arms to reach. Good. Hold and breathe. Connect with the core. Connect with the place where you can keep your focus. One more breath. Release the hands, draw the knee in, and then release. Give yourself a shake. Beautiful. Nice. And we'll do a little flow down. So back to the top of the mat. Inhale the lift and reach up. Exhale the fold. Chin comes into the chest, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale the fold. This time you might place your hands somewhere on the backs of the legs or collect opposite elbows. You might bend the knees and place the hands on the thighs or the forearms on the thighs. Wherever you are, just give yourself a chin to the chest so that the back of the neck can release. And then allow the hands to come down to the ground as you bend the knees, step yourself back. Bend the knees again, hips back, big child's pose. Big exhale out the mouth. Walk the hands towards your knees and then shift yourself over to one side. So the bum is going to be kind of in the middle of the mat and you're going to have the knees one direction. I like to have a little block. You're going to lower yourself down onto the side and take that lower arm and stretch it straight out with the palm face up. The upper hand is going to extend onto the lower hand. So the palms are together. And then you'll slide that upper hand past and then come back. So once again, we're getting into that space between the shoulder blades. You might really feel this, or it might be a bit more subtle. Next time the hand sort of slides past, see about walking the arm around the head. The hand might come off the ground. Squeeze the belly to open the chest and allow the arm to reach. So you might get, of course, a twist into the spine, but also the pectoralis muscle in the front of the chest, getting a stretch as the arm extends away. Then you might like to move dynamically through this. A couple times, that big rotation into the arm. Or you might want to take a pause and hold, keeping that firmness in the belly when you're in the twist. And then see about unwinding. You're going to take the top leg and bend the knee and shift the knee back. Roll that upper shoulder up, back, and down, and see about reaching for the foot, pushing the knee back a little bit and the foot close to you. The foot might push into the hand into the foot. Just be careful of how this feels in the knee. So listening to that part of your body, working on a stretch in the front of the thigh. One more breath. Good. Release the hold of the foot. Use your hand to either roll yourself over to the other side. I'm going to shift over to the other side so I can still see you. And so the lower arm is going to stretch straight and long, block under the head if you need that support. You don't want to have any crinching in the neck there. Top hand comes onto the bottom hand, palms together, and then stretch forward that top arm and come back. So my knees are stacked up at the height of the hips, stretching forward and back. Let's do one more. As you stretch forward, hold that a bit and then start walking the hand around the head. Reach, the belly draws in for the twist part. And then you might move dynamically, rotating the arm around. Notice that stretch in the front of the chest of the arm that's extending. You might take a pause and hold there. And breathe into the sensation. And then head back to that starting position. You might support the head a little bit more. Take that top leg and bend the knee. Send the foot back to the bum. Shift the knee back. So we're not popping the knee up. See about holding onto the pant leg or holding onto the foot. And then you're still thinking about pushing the knee back behind you. That's going to allow the front of the hip to get a bit more of a stretch and the front of the thigh. Letting the messages that come from the knee direct what is best for you. Breathe and hold. Good. Release the foot. Use the top arm to let yourself come onto your back. Shimmy yourself over. Notice if you need any prop for behind the head at all. And then see if there's any last little thing that you might like. You might want to do a little windshield wiper with the knees. Take a pause and center, extending the legs or extending the arms. Taking a deep inhale through the nose. Big exhale with a sigh, let it all go. Nothing to do here for the next few minutes but surrender, relax, Shavasana. Bring your awareness back to your body by allowing the breath to deepen. Notice how you feel. Notice any shifts or changes since the start of your practice. And then enliven the body with little wiggles of fingers and toes. Maybe you'd like to take a long stretch or draw your knees into your chest. Eventually, give yourself a roll over to one side for a couple transitioning breaths. And then use that top arm to press yourself up to any comfortable seated position. Eyes can remain closed with an inner focus and inner gaze. You might like the hands to stay on the thighs or come up to the place of the heart in the Anjali Mudra. The invitation, if you like, is to bow your head towards your heart in a sign of gratitude. Gratitude to yourself for practicing today, for listening to your inner teacher, and gratitude to those who have brought this practice to us. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free. Slowly lifting your gaze. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. We bring our hands to our forehead for clarity of thought, to our mouths for purity of speech, to our heart for openness of heart. And we close with the seal of yoga. So that's your healthy aging yoga class. Thank you so much for being here with me and sharing your practice time with me. Have a lovely day.